It's me, Fletch, back at it again with yet another video that you already know because I'm the baddest, what? The baddest trans bitch on YouTube, and that is of the periods, darling. Ooh, child. As y'all can tell, a bitch is sick, honey. So I'm gonna try my best to tell this story time the best way that I can. Even though, like, I had got a suggestion from one of my sisters, and she was like, "Hey, you should do like a day in the life of a sick person, or like a day in the life of a sick trans girl, or day in the life of a sick doll, or something like that." And I'm like, "Girl, that's actually very, very smart." So honestly, I'm gonna keep that in mind. I haven't forgotten. Where is my other phone? Hold on, you guys. I'll be right back. So I want to give a shout out to Riri. Yeah, it's me, 9148. For my last video when I was talking about how we turned that park up, featuring Forrest, she was the first person to comment who I be, chilling with my feet up with, girl. And she said the damn cat. So period, so that means you be watching me, and I appreciate that. Also, it was I Love Buttercup. She said ridiculousness with the cat as well, or he. I'm sorry, I don't know. Like, I don't be knowing like who, like, what you guys' genders are, but I'm gonna assume this is a lady, and she said the same thing. So thank you so much. It shows that you actually be watching my motherfucking channel, girl. So thank you too so much. Y'all make sure to go over there, like, comment, subscribe, share with them. I know y'all see my hair over here, girl. Just don't mind it, because this weave is coming out my head. I don't like it. But anyways, though, you guys. So now that we got that part out the way, y'all try to work with me in this video, because, girl, oh no, I don't know if I'm able to make it or not. So y'all just try to work with me. This story time is going to be like 2 story times in one, actually. This is some Vicks Vapor Rub, y'all. I'm not digging in my nose. I'm trying to make sure I can fucking breathe, bitch. Grab your tea. Grab you a snack, some tissue, some Kleenexes, baby, because, honey, we gonna sit here, we gonna be sick together, we gonna get through this story time. Okay. This story time takes place back during 2022 when I was working at Dematic, and I know it was 2022 because I had the whip, bitch. Y'all already know, brand new whip just hopped in. So I was, doing my little routine patrols, whatever the case may be. And y'all know, like, boys love girls in uniforms. I mentioned this before. And I ended up, like, me and a couple of guys that are really cute, really handsome, like some very, 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 very fine ass men. This is before the story time of that boy named Idris. This is way before then. So, when I first got there, all the boys were just gawking at a bitch. And like I told y'all before, gawking means that they be staring. So the boys was gawking at me, girl. I got like, 5 numbers within an hour of my shift. I was like, damn, bitch, look at you, girl. You popping it. Like, come on, period. So I ended up seeing this man. And for the sake of this story, so I'm going to call this man T. I don't remember what his real name is, but no, we're gonna call him. No, I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say it. Because me and Miss Claudette, that's the lady I used to work with when I was with security, we had an inside joke, and we used to call this man something. So I'm not gonna call him that. Only me and Miss Claudette would know what we're talking about, but I think other people would know what I'm talking about too. So I probably won't say that, because there's a lot of people that I think watch my channel. Because, girl, tell me why. Oh, bitch. Anyway, baby. I met this boy. We're going to call him a boy. No, he's not a boy. He's a man. I met this man. We're going to call this man T. Now, T reminded me of, like, not to be funny, but he reminded me of, like, a Hebrew Israelite Muslim guy. Because, I mean, when you think of, like, Muslim, you think Middle Eastern, you think, like, Israeli. He looked just like that. And it's not me trying to be funny. It's me being, like, genuinely, like, for sure, like, for real. I don't know if that's what he practiced. I'm not too sure. But he definitely reminded me of, like, a Hebrew Israelite. So, the real ones. Oh, this tastes terrible. He was like this medium height. We were kind of like the same height, but he was a little bit taller than me. Very like thick build, but slim, small waist. Like, not small, but He was like skinny but thick at the same time, y'all. He had like this big ass like black beard, very like beautiful eyes. Like they weren't like a color, but they were just very beautiful. Like he has very expressive eyes, a very like nice voice, y'all. Just very handsome all the way around. I don't want to tell y'all too much of what he looked like because I don't know who all still works there. So y'all, this man, I would peep him every now and again, and he'd be looking at me, staring at me, and I look at him, and then I go on about my business because, like, girl, like, if you're gonna be looking, I mean, shit, you may as well speak, but if you're not gonna speak, I'm not gonna speak to you. So, ugh. He wouldn't speak to me, he'd be staring at me. And normally, like, when people do shit like that, it makes me want to fight. Because what the fuck are you looking at? Like, if you want to say something, just say something. Don't be staring at me. Like, that pisses me off. Like, girl, don't be trying to size me up. One day, I'm in the break room. I always went to the break room. I was in the break room. That was my post. I was chilling, making sure bitches don't steal. Then on top of that, a bad bitch always was looking cute when she came to work. Like, girl, hair was always done. Nails was always did. Face was always beat. Like, baby, she was always looking cute. That's one thing a bitch could never say about me is that I come to work looking like shit. Baby, hair is always gonna be done. Nails always gonna be cute. Face gonna always be clean. Breath gonna always smell fresh. So, girl, like, he came into the break room, and this was like really early because my shift started at like 7, but I had to be there at a point, this is way before then, at like 5 in the morning because they didn't have an overnight shift. So, child, I'm in the break room, it's 5 o'clock, everybody's rolling on in, child, and, he ended up walking into the break room. He was like, hey, how are you? I'm like, oh, shit, he's speaking now? I'm like, I'm doing fine, how you doing? He was like, oh, I'm just doing good, I just wanted to know, like, what is your name? So, no, stopping up, hold on, bitch. My name's Denise. And I'm like, well, what's your name? He's like, oh, well, my name is T. I'm like, oh, okay, well, T, it's nice to meet you. He was like, yeah, it's nice to meet you, too. So, he was just asking me, like, where are you from? What do you do? How long have you been doing security? And I was just telling him, like, my little business about, like, what I've been doing, how long I've been doing security, where I'm from, things like that. So, he was like, well, hey, I would like to know, can I have your number? I was like, you want my number? Boy, I need my number, honey. Like, it ain't no skin off my back, boo. Here you go. Get my number, girl. And this is back when I had the iPhone. So we started texting and things like that. You already know how that goes, So he was asking me, like, so, like, do you have any kids? Things like that. I'm like, no, I don't have any kids. Like, I don't even have a boyfriend. I'm feeling so single. He was like, oh, okay, so, do you, like, have anything you would like to ask me? So I asked him, does he have any kids? I believe he told me no, y'all. This happened so long ago, y'all. 2 years ago was a long time ago, to be honest with you. Like, it's really not recent, so I can't remember per se. And then all my messages are in the iPhone that never works. Bitch, I done said this so many times. Here's the beef. He was having problems with one of his exes, let's just say that. And the lady was, like, harassing him, like, stalking him, really, like, still stealing his money from him. Like, he'll be like, oh, trying to help her out, pay her rent, things like that. And then, like, if he need help, she would never help him. She'd be like, you're a man, you gotta do this shit yourself. Like, you don't need my help. But they were still having sex with one another. So it was kind of like, okay, if this is your ex and you're helping her, why do you feel so entitled to help this bitch and this bitch is not trying to help you? Like, that's kind of stupid. And that's what I told him. Now, and I said it in a very respectful way, but I just told him basically, stop being a duck, because you're being a duck. Like, if you're done with her, y'all broke up, whatever the case may be, why do you still feel entitled? Why do you still feel obligated to help her? Now, he told me that, oh, this was my first love. She was the first lady I ever had sex with. I lost my virginity to her. She lost her virginity to me, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, so this is like one of those type of situations. Okay, so with that part being said, if she's treating you like trash, why are you still trying to help her? Like, girl, like, it literally does not change. Like, my opinion is still going to stay the same. Why are you still helping her and she's not trying to help you? Like, it's stupid. So he's like, you know what? You're right. I probably should stop helping her, shouldn't I? I'm like, yes, you should. Because if you are struggling, you can't pay your bills, your mom's threatening to kick you out of her house, or, you can't live by yourself, whatever the case may be, because you spending $2,000, bitch, $2,000 to help this bitch out, and this hoe got a job of her own. What is wrong with you? Like, why are you doing that? Like, don't be nice. Like, stop being nice to people that aren't nice to you. And after that, he was like, you know what? You're right. So we started having like a little bit of a deeper conversation. I'm not gonna say too much because like it's not y'all's business, but we were having a deeper conversation about like his personal life dealing with that. So I told him like, well, hey, you know, I have something I need to let you know. He was like, okay. So I said, just to let you know, I am a transgender woman. Now, I don't know if you're comfortable with that. I don't know if you're interested in that. I don't know if that's something that you can like deal with or be cool with. I'm not too sure, but I just wanted to let you know ahead of time before things transpired, no pun intended, that I am a transgender woman.
It's like, oh, you know what, that's fine because I'm bisexual.
I said, well, damn. Why didn't you tell me this ahead of time, bitch? Like, I'm over here walking on eggshells. I'm scared to talk to you. I'm just trying to, like, speak with my voice all high so I don't get clocked, bitch. And this whole time, you were bisexual. So, one thing about you is for sure, I love bisexual men because bisexual men, they kind of, like, they're more experienced. Like, girl, they're very, like, I don't know, girl, we gonna get into all that. But just know, baby, they're more experienced and they're more fun.
I'm not out yet, but like, you know, my closer relatives, they know that I am bisexual, and I have dated a trans woman before.
I'm like, well, damn, like, again, you got me scared over here to be my damn self. And this whole time, you dealt with somebody like me before. So that kind of, like, broke the ice. And we started, like, talking more about, like, you know, my transition, what made me, like, start transitioning and things like that, right? I asked him, like, what made him be attracted to trans women, stuff like that, right? So I don't recall what the whole conversation was about, but I do recall this. Now, he was asking me, would I ever like to, like, you know, go out on a date with him? I was like, sure, I would love to go out on a date with you. Like, you know, if you're open to a date, I would love to go out on a date. And of course, like, at that time, I was getting paid every week. They got paid every 2 weeks. So it was never a problem to go out on a date because I could pay for my own shit. And naturally, when I go out on dates, I pay for my own stuff anyway. I don't want nobody to pay for my stuff because I don't need no bitch thinking because you pay for my meal, we finna fuck. No, bitch. If I'm paying for my own food, I ain't fucking you. You get what I'm saying? We kind of devised a plan on meeting up at a place to go on a date, right? Now, in between that time, I met this other guy. And this other guy was, what was his name, bitch? We used to call him something, but I can't remember his real name, y'all. But we used to call, I think his real name was, I shouldn't say that, but I know his real name. But we're going to call him Mar. We're going to call him Mar, okay? And Mar was attracted to Miss Claudette, who I used to work with. Now, Mar also wanted to get down with me. So before him and Miss Claudette started, like, you know, kind of like talking, dealing, whatever, he was on my body real hard, y'all, like real hard. So between the time of me meeting T and us devising a plan to go on a date, Mar had asked me out on a date, right? So when Mar asked me out on a date, of course, like, I didn't decline. I ended up cutting my hair at this time. So my hair was cut, this cute little, like, you know, short, curly, like, you know, style, girl, real cute, real cute, real cute. This was like back in October, girl, of 2022. I went on a date with him, had on this cute little orange dress, a little slit on the side, these cute little boots that I got from Mad Rag, and I had on this cute little, like, black leather jacket. Looking real cute, beat my face, and my face looking real cute, girl, just looking really, really good. So we went on a date to this little Chinese food spot. We ate some food, and we sat in the car. So we were sitting in his car, and we were talking, and I ended up disclosing to friend that I am trans because, like, he didn't know that I was trans either. And when I told him that I was trans, girl, he was like, really? I was like, yeah. So then he was like, you know what, something that's crazy. And he started getting real loud. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with him? He was like, see, like, I kind of knew that you was, who did he say? He said a transition. I'm like, what the fuck is a transition? But whatever, girl. Right terminology, wrong word. He was like, I kind of knew you were a transition because people were telling me that you were. But see, I never had a problem with you being a transition because, I mean, shit, if you fine, you fine, and I think you fine as fuck. I said, oh, okay. Like, why are you so aggressive? So then he was like, yeah, like, when I was living in my old apartment, I lived around the corner from some transitions, and they was some real bad transitions. They was real bad. I'm like, okay. So what now? Like, bitch, like, you're very aggressive. Like, are you gonna beat my ass? Like, what's happening? So then friend was like, do you know how to give the bob? So basically, y'all, like, I munched on Mar's meat after our date, and Mar kind of completely way too fast for me. And then after that, Mar started, like, being very weird. Like, he would speak, but he wouldn't speak. And he would always have this mean-ass mug on his face when he would see me, but he would be so nice. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So, girl, that was that. So, that was Mar. Now, after Mar, now we're back to T. So, it's me and T. We ended up, like, planning a date, but we ended up not being able to go on the date because he was having some issues with his parents and his little ex-girlfriend again. So, after that, we ended up meeting up actually after I got off work one day. I don't remember what day this was, but I do remember that I had a quick weave in my head, my very first ever quick weave. I made that video on YouTube. Around that time, I was working at Dramatic, you guys. So, excuse me. I ended up pulling up to his house where he stays at, right? Because he told me he lived like around the corner from the whatchamabot girl, from the job. So I pulled up into his neighborhood, girl. I didn't know where the fuck I was, but I let him know that I was outside. So friend walked on out, girl. He had on his wife beater, these really like, nice shorts. Like I said, he was built very well. Like when I say he was built very well, he was built very well. Like really big, like a buff chest, big muscular arms, slim small waist, nice fat ass, girl, thick thighs. Like he was built very, very well. I don't know how the fuck he looked like that, but he looked really good. He jumped in my car, girl, and we chit-chatted a little bit, we was talking, like, not too much, we was talking just a little bit. So then Fred was like, hey, can I get a kiss? Yes, you can. And we can make it last forever. So I gave Fred a cute little girl, and then we hopped on in the back seat. So, child, we jumped in the back seat, chit-chat a little bit. Fred wanted me to sit in his lap, girl, so I sat in Fred's lap. At this point, like, I'm straddling him. Is this a pimple? And Fred gets to, like, kissing on my neck. So I had on these tiny ass, like, booty shorts, these little tiny, like, tan booty shorts. I've shown y'all a picture of what they looked like before, but I had those on, and I had on this like sweater that came with the outfit. It's like a cute little crop top sweater thing. It's really cute. So, he put his hands like inside the cuffs of, where my booty was, girl. Got to rub it on my little ass cheeks, girl. Real big hands, by the way. Very big hands, very mammalian type hands. So, girl, he's squeezing my little booty cheeks and stuff, girl. And then I get to like kind of like, grinding on him a little bit. So I'm grinding on Fred. Fred, like, kind of picks me up and moves me off of him and, like, sits me, like, beside him. And he, like, pushes me back, girl. So, like, my head is up against the window. And I'm laying back like this, right? Mind you, like, the way the car was made, it was very big. So, like, the back seat was huge. So, baby, you could, like, stretch out and literally lay down all the way and go to sleep in that damn car. Only beef I had was it didn't have any fucking air. That was the only problem. So, I had to crack the window. So, girl, I'm laying all the way back, girl. Fred snatched my shorts off, honey, and Fred got to punching on me. I was like, oh my God. And honey, when I say Fred was doing an amazing job, y'all, like he was doing such a great job. So after he munched on me, right, I'm like, boo, it's my turn now. Threw Fred on back, honey. Got to munching on Fred, of course. I already had douched before I pulled up over there, obviously, because you just never know, like, what the night's gonna give. You have to stay ready, so you have to what? Get ready. So, I'm munching on Fred a little bit, girl, and he has some very, like, nice moans as well. I'm not going to be too explicit because, girl, like I said, this is a 2-in-1 story time. So, after that, Fred was, like, asking me to go ahead on and, like, bend over, girl. So, I bent over, honey. Fred got to eat in this ass like it was his last meal, bitch. Like, seriously. I was like, oh, yes, I could definitely get down with this. I could get down with this. He munched on me. Fred got to patting on my little booty hole, girl, and you already know what came next. He bust through those gates like it was the Trojan War, bitch. Do you hear what I'm saying? And girl, when I tell you, Fred had me in that backseat feeling so good. Now, let's be quite frank, his pitoaca wasn't that big, but it was a fuckable size. And y'all know, like, certain DICKs are fuckable sizes and some are like suckable sizes. He had a fuckable size. Not too much suckable. He's beating my back end, girl, all up in the back seat, girl. Got this whole, like, making all types of noises, girl. Like, it was an amazing experience. So, after a while, he kablooey, whatever the case may be. Of course, he pulled out a kablooey. Like, he did kablooey inside me because, like, girl, that would have been a little bit too much. Way too much. So after that, Girl, you know, clean myself up. He cleaned himself up. We kissed, got out of the car, and he went on home. So now we're gonna fast forward, bitch. So I was in control of letting people into the main building, right? And I was also in control of signing new hires in. Hopefully there's no snot on my nose because like that's so disgusting and that's not ladylike at all. But I was in control of signing the new hires in. Now, when I was signing the new hires in, I peeped this guy, and we're gonna call him. Should I use? He's fired from there now. And again, I don't know who watches me, but I don't think anybody's gonna really give a fuck. So, his name's Cedric. Now, Cedric is such a like. You're not gonna know who I'm talking about because Cedric is such a often used black man name. You're not gonna know who I'm talking about. Cedric was this really like skinny guy, caramel tone. His hairline was a little ugly, but he wasn't ugly in the face. He was very thin though and had some huge ass feet. He was like, "Hey, hi, how are you?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm doing fine. How are you doing today?" He was like, "I'm good." I said, "Okay, so what's your name?" He was like, "Oh, my name is Cedric." I said, "Okay." I checked the sheet. His name's on the sheet. Signed him in. Told him like go into the break room and sit down, and I'll be with him shortly. Go into the main room. Told Miss girl, I forgot her damn name, but I told her she reminded me of my mama so much. I told her that there's a new hire here. His name is Cedric. She was like, "Okay, cool." Managers come in, interview him, blah, 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 right? But let me tell you something. Friend constantly kept staring at me. And like I said before, I don't like when bitches stare at me because what are you doing? You cannot size me up. What are you trying to do? You want to fight? You got a problem? Like, what's the? I have to understand that some guys just be looking at you because you're pretty, not because they want to figure out what the fuck you are. But sometimes I be thinking they be staring at me because they know my tea. And, you know, girl, I be trying to put, bitch, I be so fucking scared because, like, girl, if one boy knows my tea, everybody knows my tea. One day, you know, me and T got into this argument because I think he wanted to see me, and he started becoming very possessive over me. Like, every time a guy would talk to me, he'd be staring at me, looking in the room, looking in the break room, frowned up, mad. Then he texts me, "Oh, you must like him or something." Bitch, what are you talking about? I don't even like you like that. Like, to be quite frank with you, like, baby, we met. We had a cute little powwow. That's it. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you tripping? Like, calm down. I kind of started, like, drifting away from T because T was just being very weird at a point. So, you know, Cedric came into the break room one time. And he was like, "Hey, you know, where are you from?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm from the east side of Memphis." He was like, "You don't sound like it." I'm like, I hear that so much. I don't sound like I'm from Memphis. I'm like, "What am I supposed to sound like?" He was like, "I don't know. You just don't sound like you from Memphis." I'm like, "But I am. Like, born and raised Parkway Village, baby. Shelby County, honey. I am definitely from Memphis, Tennessee, sweetie. 38118. I'm 100% from here. I'm not from anywhere else but Memphis, Tennessee." So he said, "Oh, that's what's up." So I asked him where he's from. He told me where he's from. He's not from Memphis at all. He's an out of towner, but he came here to, like, you know, start fresh, like get start a new, what they be saying, start a new path, turn over a new path, some shit like that, whatever that phrase is. That's what he was here for. I had these cute set it off braids. That's what I was trying to say. I had these cute little set it off braids in my head. Girl, giving very much so silly and very much so Queen Latifah, bitch. And girl, they were like very ugly, but they were kind of like, I guess they were cute, about like as cute could get, because y'all know a bitch was bald head. So friend would be like flirting with me, like he would be flirting with me. So one time he was like, "Oh, you know, I'm gonna ask you something," and then he like pulled this chair up from a table, and he's sitting in front of me, like mind you, sitting in front of me with his legs open, and he's sitting like this, staring at my face, like he's looking me in the eyes, and like, "Yeah, you know, so like, how you feel about like, you know, fucking with like a nigga like me?" I'm like, I mean, I don't feel no type of way. Like, what you want me to say? He was like, "Oh, you know, I mean, shit, like, you know, you do security and shit. Like, ain't they gonna make it weird?" I'm like, "No, it's not gonna make it weird. Like, what are you talking about?" So, a friend was just like, you know, he said something to me, y'all, and I forgot what he said to me. But all I know is the lady bits, they started to rise to attention. So I had to like kind of close my legs and cross my legs real quick because, baby, you're not going to get me clogged, bitch. Like, calm your ass down. He was just talking to me with this really smooth, like, deep voice. He was talking about how, "Oh, you know, You can meet me out there in my car in the parking lot, and I can make you, CUM. I can make that PUSSY like twinge and leak and all this other shit. I'm like, boy, like, first of all, one, that is not how you flirt with a lady. Okay? Let's start there. I don't know what is up with boys with thinking that being sexual is supposed to be a way to flirt with a woman. That's why gay men have such great relationships with women, because you shouldn't be trying to, like, flirt your way into her panties. That's not how that works. Gay men will compliment a woman, tell her how beautiful she is, talk about how smart she is, tell her that she looks good, buy her gifts, protect her. What the fuck is wrong with men nowadays? Like, girl, get the fuck out of here. He's saying all this sexual shit. Little does he know. Well, I could probably catch you in the parking lot and we could, like, have us a little session, whatever the case may be, if that's what you would like to do. He was like, yeah, I'm on it. I'm on that shit. I'm on that. So then he, like, reached forward and put his, like, hand on my knee, and he, like, rubbed his hand on my thigh, girl. And when he did that, why in the fuck did T walk past the break room and he looked in there and saw that man touching my leg, right? T went outside. When T went outside, he went outside and smoked him a cigarette, girl. Mind you, I'm looking through the window because the window was right by the front doors. T is looking at me through the window, staring me down like, what the fuck is wrong with this bitch? I'm like, oh my God, bitch. I'm trying to play my little pimp role, and a bitch got caught up. Like, oh my God. He came back in, because he had his own badge. I had to open up the door for him. He came back in. But when he came back in, why did Fred walk into the break room and make some coffee? And he was literally, like, me mugging the fuck out of Cedric. So Cedric looked up, and he frowned up and looked at T. T frowned up and looked at him. And then T walked out of the break room. So then Cedric was like,
fuck wrong with that dude? You know him or something?
I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck? Oh my God, no. Please don't start no mess, girl. I don't need nobody to be here fighting over me, girl. It's literally not that deep. Like, I promise you, it's not that fucking deep. So I'm like, yeah, like, I know him. Like, we're cool. We're friends. Whatever. He's like, oh, that nigga looking at me like he got a fucking problem or some shit. Like, I beat the fuck out of him. I'm like, babes, relax. Like, girl, I don't even know you like that. Like, y'all, it's literally not that deep. So, girl, after that, he was like, I'm just trying to make sure, like, because if a nigga got a problem, he can speak up. So then, like, girl, why is T around the corner? He peep his head back and he looking at Cedric and Cedric looking at him. I'm like, y'all, this is not going to be that. Like, y'all are not going to fight up in here. That shit is fucking ridiculous. It is not that serious. You don't even know my T yet, bitch. He does. So, girl, T walks back out the break room again, comes back and gets a snack, stares at Cedric again, and then walks back out. And then he takes my phone, right? So when he takes my phone, girl, mind you, my phone is sitting on the table right in front of Cedric and I while we're having this little conversation. So my phone goes off, and I used to have my messages like visible so I could read what they say before I like open the message. So he was like, T was like, that must be your man or something. And I'm like, girl, I grabbed my phone so fucking fast, girl, and I turned my screen off. And then Cedric was still talking to me. So after Cedric got done talking to me, girl, he left out the break room. So then T comes back in the break room after he left. He was like, what's up with that? I'm like, he was just talking to me. Like, he was trying to flirt with me. Like, that's all. He was like, nah, but like, bro was touching you. I'm like, yeah, I know. But he was flirting with me. I don't want him. Like, he was just flirting with me. He was like, are you sure? Because, like, y'all was looking real close. I'm like, friend, it's not giving that. Like, please, relax. Like, I don't want him. So after that, T walks on out. And when he walks out the break room, Cedric walks back in. So he comes back in. And he sits back down in the chair. So he's talking to me. And I'm like, well, hey, I want to let you know, in case you didn't know, I am transgender. Like, if you're cool with that, that's fine. We can still hang out, have a parking lot session, wherever it is. I don't really care that much. Like, it's really up to you. Girl, it's like, girl, can you calm your hormones down? Like, first of all, you came in there being sexual with me. Baby, I love a good moment, okay? So, when you did all that, you should have known that you woke up something in me. You can't threaten me with a good time and then try to act bamboozled and baffled when I tell you my tea. Like, girl, if you already opened the Pandora's box, you may as well dig inside of it, boo. Whatever comes out of it, you got to be able to handle it. So, he was like, oh, for real? I'm like, yeah, I am trans. He's like, oh, shit, well, damn, like, that's crazy. I'm like, yeah. It's like, oh, okay. It's like, well, yeah, like, I'll probably talk to you later. So he walked on down the break room, right? I was like, damn, girl, you done kind of fucked up a little bit. Hey, y'all, it's Aiming Fletch, of course, obviously. So, as y'all can hear, my voice sounds so much better. from drinking that dang tea. But that's neither here nor there. So I want to come in and add this part in just to like give y'all a little bit more of like a descriptor. So the way my little table was set up doing security, I was facing like the windows to the parking lot so I could see outside and see the parking lot, make sure ain't nobody breaking nobody's car, right? So as I'm seeing that, you know, I can see at the corner of my eye that there's somebody like standing in the hallway. Like I can literally see somebody standing in the hallway. I'm like, who the fuck is that? So I kind of turned it out, look, and then I see that it's the Cedric guy, right? But as I see these standing out there, girl, I kind of like, you know, glance down with my eyeballs, and I'm peeping. There's like stuff poking around beneath his waistband. I'm like, girl, what the fuck is going on here? Like, what is that about? Girl, that man walked into that break room not even 5 minutes later. He was like, come here real quick. So, girl, I get up out my seat. Girl, I walk on and I follow Cedric, girl. We walk behind this big ass like shelf full of like bolts and nuts and things like that. Like, you know, those screws and shit. We walk back there. Girlfriend's trying to make sure the coast is clear. Honey, he dropped his pants for a real bitch, and I let that man have it. And when I say y'all, it was the gigantic, like, bitch, it was huge. I said, oh my goodness. First of all, I told you the tea. Clearly you don't care. So after I told you the tea, now T is mad at me because T don't think you know my T. You in my face, and I done told you the T, but T never knew that I messed up with Cedric in the warehouse. Girl. So we did our little 1 and 2 3s and our 4s, girl. Honey, when I tell you, hit that means off the bone, girl. Like it was so exhilarating, y'all, because I didn't know if anybody's gonna come around the corner and see us. So, girl, after that, you know, I, you know, got myself together, wiped my face off, whatever it is. He kind of like completely, like, you know, all of my whatever, girl. Really great experience, like a really great experience. And then after that, y'all, very like, like when I say it matched, and y'all know how I feel about matching pieces, it matched very well, and it was so veiny and thick, y'all. So after that, go back in the break room, I chill out, whatever. People started being very weird, and then they started telling people my business about me being transgender, and then it started like causing problems at the job. And then even T started like, you know, not really talking to me like that, me mugging me, not speaking to me. Girl, he was ignoring me for some days, y'all. He was really mad at me. I don't know if he found out that I had messed with that boy. I don't know what it was, but he was not talking to, look at that nappy ass fucking weave, y'all. I hate this hair so much. Like, I literally hate this so much. But I don't want to take it out. I'm trying to just let it ride until I get paid, because when I get paid, I'm going to give you some new weave anyway. So I'm just going to try to let it ride. Shortly after that, y'all, Cedric ended up getting fired. Like, literally, like, I want to say, like, a week and a half after that, he got fired under some, like, I want to say, like, some alleged acts, and they didn't have anything to do with me. He was making passes at a girl, and, like, making sexual passes at her, harassing her, whatever the case may be. And he said that it wasn't true, because he told Miss Claudette that. Girl, gag on this, though. Y'all remember when I said when he first met me, he was doing all that extra shit, touching on me and stuff like that? So, I believe that he did that. I don't think that was something that they made up and they was lying on him to get him fired. No, bitch. You did that. You did that because you were doing it to me. You didn't even know me. Like, you touching on me and stuff. Like, talking what you gonna do, meet you in the car. Like, that was so, like, classless, and it was so, like, pervy. So, hey, it is what it is. You gotta learn that not everybody's gonna be up for that shit. Me, I'm a whore. I don't care. But, you know, other girls, biological women, they not gonna fuck with that shit. You have to be careful what you say to women and how you say it. Like, you can flirt, but you have to be very smooth with it. Like, he was not smooth at all. Very direct, very upfront. So, I mean, like, hey, it is what it is, boo. You shouldn't have wrote to check your ass clean cash. Hey, you should have learned from me, bitch. Calm your ass down. Like, girl, you almost got tricked by me. And, girl, had I not told you my tea, you would have never known. You would have reached down and grabbed something and were like, oop, yep, exactly. It was a very, like, tea-like story time. But basically, all that very much so wraps with this story time. He got fired, and then shortly after that, I want to say the very next month, I got fired in February, and then I got arrested at the end of February, and now we're like, on to like, all the rest shit. So like, girl, like, hey, it is what it is. So thank you all so much for tuning into this video. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I tried my best to like tell the story time the best way that I could. As y'all can hear, my voice is getting so much better from drinking this damn tea. And yeah, y'all. So thank you all so much for tuning in. I don't know how much more time I have left. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, your family, your foes, all that, all that. And if you love my gorgeous face, obviously, like I said before, share with all your friends, your family, your foes. And I will catch you badass bitches in my next DL story time, bitch. Or probably in my next vlog, girl. Not too sure. Whenever I get over this cold, that'll be the next time that y'all see me post a vlog. Right now, a bitch is out of commission, okay? And it's funny because, girl, it don't matter. Y'all have a good one. Happy holidays, bitch.